Hey, it's tough to find multifamily deals these days, right? But people are still doing them somehow. You know what the secret is? Off market deals, the kind that are never listed publicly, but only certain people see. But how do you get these coveted off market deals? Maybe you're frustrated by the competition out there. It's fierce these days. Even if you make the best and final, someone's always outbidding you or putting up hard earnest money. How do you compete with that? It really seems impossible and frustrating, and you might be ready to give up. But don't lose heart. Don't let this stop you from being successful with apartment buildings, okay? Because people are, in fact, successful. But in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the insider secret to get off-market deals. And that is by tracking deals you lost. Here's exactly how you do it. All right, look, just because you lost a deal or a deal went under contract and now it's gone doesn't mean you lost it. Many times the deal comes back. In fact, it's surprisingly common. I would almost say 50% of the time the deal doesn't close. But if you stick with it and keep following with a broker, the deal oftentimes comes back to you at much more favorable terms than before, because now the seller is more motivated. So here are a couple practical tips for sticking with it. Number one, keep records and notes on your deals. All right. So when a deal goes dead, don't forget about it. Don't delete the files. Keep them around. I put everything in Dropbox, and I always have a folder on each of the deals that we do. Any kind of record my activity with the seller, my notes, my site visits, any kind of phone conversations, any kind of analysis I do. Use our syndicated deal analyzer for that. I might take videos of my analysis, so when I go back in later, I can refresh myself. So 1 or 2 or 3 months go back. It's amazing how often these things come back. So keep your stuff. Keep all your information and make it with the idea that 90 days, 120 days, this deal might come back. You quickly go back in and refresh yourself on that deal. I can't overemphasize how common this is. Number two, schedule regular follow-ups with the seller or broker. So if you're dealing with a broker, it's going to be the broker. Add it to your calendar next time that you want to follow up with a broker. Just put an alert in your calendar and do this in every 2 to 4 weeks. However the frequency is, even do it once a month, and maybe alternate sending an email every once in a while. Maybe there's a blog post, an article that you saw, or a report that was really useful for them, provide some value to the broker. But call them up, once a month and say, hey, what's going on? Whatever happened to so-and-so deal? Oh, it closed. Oh, that's fantastic. What was the close price? Just for your own records to see how crazy people are out there. But chances are they might say, well, shoot, that matter of fact, they're having trouble with that closing right now. I don't think it's going to go through. And boom, you are now the inside guy. And if that deal doesn't close because of your persistence, they're likely going to call you. And that is an off-market deal that will never see the light of day again. And it's surprisingly common. It happens all the time. I mean, I remember even on the house flipping deals, it's the same thing, right? There's it was a seller. He was a little bit older. He was looking to sell his rental property, but his greed got the better of him, and he went with the bigger money for someone, but that deal fell through. And then the tenant moved out, and all of a sudden had a loss of income, and stayed in touch with the owner, called him every couple months, and then sure enough, he says, oh my gosh, let's do this deal. And of course, the price now is much lower than what he was looking for earlier. I was talking with fellow apartment investor Chris Urso up in New York, and he had a similar story. He's a successful multifamily investor with thousands of units at this point, and he says that one of his best deals came back to him after it had been under contract twice before he got it. And these stories abound. Trust me when I say this. The lesson really is stick with the deal until it closes, because it ain't over till it's over. So keep careful records, stay in touch with a broker. And if you do that, there's a good chance that you can get an off-market deal. That is an insider tip, my friends. All right, now before you go, I got this free download for you right here. Check it out, super cool. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because we're putting out stuff once a week and you don't want to miss that. And I got another video for you here. Check it out.